Good evening to all. Welcome to IYR Talks English. In Hyderabad, within Jubilee Hills, there is a jungle within a concrete jungle. This jungle within a concrete jungle is known as the KBR Park, spread over 400 acres with housing a lot of biodiversity unique to the Deccan Plateau. This has become a major lung space, especially those who reside within the Jubilee Hills area. Who is who in the town, you can see them taking an evening or a morning walk in those lovely, pleasant surroundings. Of late, there is a project which is being taken up by the state government which is causing concern among a number of these netizens who keep going there for their evening and morning walks. Because of a flyover project which is contemplated by the state government, will it diminish the size of the KBR Park, or will these flyovers go over the KBR Park? This is a doubt quite a number of citizens are getting. When the government does not do its public relations work properly, these are the type of problems that are going to be faced by any government. In fact, it was credited to Winston Churchill, whether he really said it or not, that the rumor will go round half of the world before the truth starts getting up and putting on its shoes. I think as far as this KBR Park is also concerned, the rumors that are being spread exactly fit into this saying. I also for a period believed that this is going to be a major problem for the KBR Park. Till that time, I was enlightened on this by some of my colleagues from the Forest Department. We thought we will give a clarity on this from someone who dealt with this project when it was conceived and formulated. He is no other than Mr. P K Jha, who was the principal forest conservator of the state of Telangana from 2016 to 2019. He knows the ins and outs of this project. He is also a legal luminary who has done his law in addition to his work as a forest conservator. He is with us today and he will clarify on a number of these points. Good evening, Mr.
Good evening,
Jha.
sir.
I mean, these rumors are being spread that the KBR Park will be demolished for the sake of the flyovers, and that there's a lot of biodiversity ecosystem which is going to be lost. What is the truth in this statement? How is this project conceived and how is it going to be implemented? Maybe you can throw some light on this whole thing.
I have also seen a lot of news coming in the newspaper and all that, saying that KBR is getting affected. Let me clarify, sir, that this has been clarified by the National Green Tribunal, Chennai itself, in a judgment which was delivered in 2017. This point was, this was one of the issue flagged by the NGT Chennai, and they have categorically said that these flyovers have nothing to do with the KBR. KBR is not going to be affected. I again repeat, not a single inch, not a single tree within the
Periphery of the park.
The enclosed wall of KBR.
The 400 acres of KBR Park.
360, 400. It is going, that is the one clarification. Now, the issue is that then why so much rumor and all those things are being spread? Maybe this is the location disadvantage. Had they proposed this same flyover somewhere else, this much heat would not have generated the amount of heat we are finding here. Now, KBR, if we see that it was earlier, it was a Nizam land which was taken over by the state government under Land Ceiling Act sometime in 84. And in 1994, this land was given to the Forest Department, when it was notified as a protected forest, at that time only in the notification, forest notification itself, only 360 acre has been notified as a forest. Around 40 acre, which is between the existing roads, because all around roads are there. So, between existing road and this 360 acre, land has been kept reserved for future expansion of the road. So, from day one there was clarity with the government that this land buffer area is kept, because government was aware that future road expansion and all those things will be required. So, that precaution was taken when the forest itself was notified in 94. So, that we have to keep in mind that this 40 acre was kept aside outside the forest area. Or now, and all these if we see the KBR has total 7 junctions. So, the project started sometime in 2015. That time the government had SRDP, a strategic road development program. Under that they proposed flyover at 6 junctions, not all 7 junctions. And when the proposal was because it involved felling of certain trees and all that, so that is why the forest department came in the scene. Now, let me clarify, sir, that when it was notified as reserve forest, whatever 40 acre was left, so the then government, what they did, instead of keeping it idle because it may get encroached or it can be misused, they have developed a park all around. It is called Huda Walkway. Beautiful walkway has come outside the periphery of the KBR, and lot of plants were planted, basically to give shade and all that. So, beautiful walkway has come around that. Now, whatever these flyovers are proposed, on account of that, because mostly a meridian or somewhere wherever it is landing, some trees have to be felled. All those trees which are proposed to be felled are coming in that 40 acre only, which was earmarked for the purpose of future expansion. So, when the proposal came to the forest department to give permission under Volta Act, if any tree felling or anything, any damage happens in the forest, we are having Forest Act. But if somebody has planted some tree or some tree has to be felled outside the forest, whether by private individual or any government institution, there was no regulatory mechanism earlier. So, that has been brought under Volta. Under Volta, if anybody wants to fell tree for any purpose, then he has to take permission from the DFO. So far Hyderabad is concerned, because permissions were given very liberally at that time, NGOs and all that, they made lot of protest and all that. They said that no, we also should be associated with that. So, government issued a GO in 2008, and a separate committee was constituted, that is called Tree Protection Committee, TPC. In that Tree Protection Committee, 3 NGOs have been included, and just I have the names of them, because I think they are all well known NGOs. First is Mr. Chelikani Rao.
Okay.
He is quite well known here, United Federation of Resident Welfare Association. Second is M. Beda Kumar.
Right.
He is Forum for Better Hyderabad.
Yeah. And he is also involved with INTAC.
INTAC.
Yes.
And third is Srimati Farida Tampal. She is representing WWF. She is in charge of WWF at that time, Andhra. So, these 3 NGOs are also associated with. So, job of this committee is that this, before the DFO gives, because ultimately permission has to be given by the DFO only, but before DFO gives, this committee has to examine the necessity of those fellings, and based on the recommendation of those this committee only, DFO gives the permission. That is how it landed. At that time I was additional PCCF in the office of PCCF. So, when this proposal came before us, then committee was aware that is coming around KBR, and KBR is very important. So, we asked the GHMC to do some sort of scientific study to justify its proposal, and they have done very good job. They had experts. So, they have done that that traffic a study was done in around all these 7 junctions. Just I can give example that at that time it was per day traffic was about 2.25 lakh vehicles were crossing in 2015, which was projected to go up to 5.5 lakh by 2035. So they have done that study, and what we wanted to see that okay, on account of these flyovers, whether the pollution level will come down, and if it will come down by what levels, and because we are felling the tree, then how much we are going to lose. So this was the job before us, and then the GHFC expert, they have given that, they have conducted that study, and they gave figures before that committee, and that was discussed in detail. What they have given information to us, they have taken 2 reference points, 2015, what is the scenario in 2015, and what will be the scenario in 2035. For 20 years they have studied that. So in 2015, the pollution at these 7 junctions on account of idling of the vehicle when the signal is red or traffic is halted. So idling of the vehicle, per day that pollution is about 107 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. Pollution will be different, it will carbon monoxide, carbon methane and all that, but we ask them to bring in the common factors. So that it is called carbon dioxide equivalent. So they did that job. So it is 107 tons carbon dioxide equivalent per day. If these flyovers are constructed on day 1, the moment these flyovers are completed as per 2015, that will come down to 48. So on day 1, the pollution level will come down by 55%. That was the baseline, we can say. Now let us see that what will be the scenario in 2035. That also they shared with us. In 2035, if these flyovers are not constructed, the pollution, which is 107 tons, will go to 429, 4 times. And if these flyovers are constructed, then this pollution level will come down to 129 or so. So in 2035, pollution level will come down by almost 74%, which is 55% today. So that is the level of pollution level which will come down. So roughly they have calculated about 16 lakh tons of the carbon will be, that much pollution will be saved. On account of that, about 4 crore liters of petrol and diesel will be saved. We can see that what is the implication, import bill and all that. In addition to the traffic will be very smooth. So that was one part, positive part. Negative part also we have seen. The average age of those trees were taken as around 15 years we have taken, because some were young, some were 20 or 20, like that. So around 96 tons carbon it has sequenced. So per year it is coming out 5 tons per year. Right. So what we are going to lose is 5 tons per year. What we are going to gain is about 60 tons per day. Right. So that is how we have concluded, and we gave permission. And all these issues were discussed when it was the case was taken suo motu by the NGT Chennai, and some NGOs also joined. So NGT Chennai, they have gone speaking order, quite detailed order has been issued, and this was the concern that our KBR is going to be affected and all that, and they have categorically said that it has nothing to do with the KBR.
Okay. This is then if it is 2016, almost all a decade. Where did this get stuck for such a long time?
As per my understanding, that 2017 that judgment of NGT came. NGT said that you wait for the eco-sensitive zone notification. That took some time. I think that was notified in 2020 finally. So eco-sensitive, now it is as it stands, it varies from 3 meter to 29 meter.
And that is also secure. That's also.
Now in between, I think another set of NGO, or maybe I don't know, they have approached the Honorable High Court here, and in the Telangana High Court, and Telangana High Court has given a stay. So I presume that case is still pending. I am not aware of the latest development, And I think that may be the reason, which means there was change in the government, maybe whatever may be. So,
Okay. So that's, though this is broadly the truth about the flyovers around the KBR Park. The 360 acres of KBR Park notified as a national park is not going to be touched by any of these developments. So also the eco-sensitive zone, which is already declared. All that is going to get affected are the walkways which were planned all around the KBR Park by Hyderabad Urban Development Authority, and some artificial species raised there just for beauty and also give some shade to the walkers. So even out of them, about 1,300 are going to be cut. And if you look at the carbon dioxide saved because of this, and that's going to be lost because of cutting of these 1,300 trees, there is absolutely no comparison. Sometimes rumors spread faster than the truth, and I think in this case also that seems to have happened. To give to the readers a little background about the KBR Park, because some chief ministers have taken a very strong stand because of which that land stays as a center of biodiversity as a national park. It was during the period of Nedulamalli Janardhan Reddy that this land was taken over from the Nizam under the Urban Land Ceilings Act. There was intense pressure on the chief minister in those days by a lot of these realtors for real estate projects and from the MLAs to give it to them as a housing colony for the MLAs. It goes to the credit of the then Chief Minister Nedulamalli Janardhan Reddy and Mr. Madhav Rao, who was the Chief Secretary, to have stood firm and got this land declared as a protected forest instead of handing it over for other purposes. Then came Mr. Vijay Bhaskar Reddy, during whose time a more stronger action was taken. He also felt, along with whoever was advising him, I think Anjaneya Reddy was the main person who piloted this with Vijay Bhaskar Reddy. If it is like this, someday or the other somebody will knock off this land. The best way of protecting is, let us get it declared as a national park. That's how this 360 acres of land in the heart of Jubilee Hills could survive with all its biodiversity and fauna and flora. And that's not going to be touched. That's the best part of it. So sometimes government should also be more proactive in projecting the truth. Unless they do that, this is what will happen. Based upon some rumors, hearsay, people will get agitated and then start all these operations. Thank you.